Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, November the 1st, 2022. Happy Tuesday. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you're watching us from, whatever time it is. I want to say welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. If you're coming on, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody, and put in the comments what city you're watching us from today. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. If you're coming on, please hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, and let them know your boy Ramon, my squad, and the Ramonepreston Show. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta on this beautiful, terrific Tuesday, November the 1st, 2022. We are 2 months away from a new year, and within these next 2 months there are so many things you and I can accomplish as long as we have the right mindsets and the right skill sets to put forth the actions and the efforts and the execution. We can see some amazing things happen. So I want to say welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Put in the comments what city you're watching me from today. It's a beautiful sunny Tuesday here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the Tuesday that the Lord has made, and I'm already rejoicing. I'm glad in it. I am inspired. I am motivated. I am excited just about life and about all of the potential and possibilities that we have in front of us. And while we are preparing for a new month today is November the 1st. While we're preparing for the final 2 months of this calendar year, it is my responsibility. It is my obligation as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as a consultant, as an educator, to bring information to you today that I know can help you take your business, your finances, and your life to the next level. So please put in the comments what city you're watching me from today. And all of you that be watching and lurking and you don't be engaging me, let me tell you something. You're missing out on an amazing opportunity to connect and to engage with somebody who's taking a whole lot of people to the next level. I want to be a billionaire. And I heard one man say, if you want to be a billionaire, you need to figure out how to make a whole lot of millionaires. And that's one of the reasons why I have a millionaire blueprint. That's one of the reasons why I have a millionaire mentorship program. That's one of the reasons why I have millionaire strategies and solutions and principles and concepts that I share on a day-to-day basis with people like you, because I want to help you become a millionaire, a multimillionaire, or maybe you like me, you want to be a billionaire as well. But in order to get started in that process, in order to continue that process, at some point you got to engage. You can't just be watching social media videos and lurking on the internet and never put forth the effort to connect with people and engage people. And so I'm just throwing a little shade out there up front. So if you're watching, put in the comments what city you're watching me from, especially if you don't just have an avatar up on your profile, but you're actually a real person, engaging people, being a part of the real world, and you want to take your life to the next level. So welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. I am your host, Ramonepreston, and every Monday through Friday, every day, Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, I come on this show to share information with you that I know can help you start, structure, and at some point scale your business, your ministry, your income streams, and your wealth building dreams. And what qualifies me the most to share this information with you is because I live it. I've lived this information. I practice this information. So I don't just teach, but I practice what I teach. I live what I preach and teach. I practice it. And so I know these principles, these concepts this information that I share with you, I know it works because it works in my life. I've been an entrepreneur full-time for 20 years. Full-time entrepreneur for 20 years. Now that could be bragging, like my mentor says, or that can be complaining. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a little bragging, but I'm grateful to be able to say that 20 years I have been a full-time entrepreneur. I have learned so much in the last 20 years. I have had a lot of failures, a lot of disappointments, a lot of setbacks, but I've had a lot of successes too. I've at least succeeded enough to be at a point to where we have a 7-figure organizational enterprise. I am financially free. My wife and I have been put in a position financially and economically that we can hire people, we can build an organization, we can take care of our families, we can continue to expand and grow. So there's got to be something I know that actually works. And so I take incremental pieces of all the things that I've learned in the last 20 years, all the concepts that I've put together, all the principles that I have practiced, all the formulas, all the strategies and solutions that I have developed over the course of the last 20 years to get to where I am, which is a place of some level of success. It might not be a $10 million company yet. It might not be a $100 million company yet. It might not be a $1 billion company yet. But guess what? It ain't a $2 company. So the fact that it can be a $1 million company, it can be a 7-figure organizational enterprise, I think that's worth something. As a matter of fact, I was just on the phone earlier with a young lady who is planning to join our mentorship program. She's a new business owner, a solopreneur. She's doing an amazing job. She has 2 businesses that she's building from the ground up while working a full-time job, while taking care of her family all by herself. And she said something to me that was very, 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 it was very complimentary, to say the least. It was very complimentary. But what she said was, number one, she wanted to reach out to me and to my company because she wants a mentor. And number 2, she wants a mentor that actually knows how to do what she wants to do. She wants to be an influencer. She wants to have a solid business with systems and processes and a team. And she said, you know, you fit that criteria. So that speaks volumes to what my wife and I have been able to accomplish in the last 20 years. And so for that, I'm grateful, but I'm saying that, and it might be a little flex, but I'm flexing that just for you to know that everything I share with you on this show is real information. These are real things that I use every day, that I implement, that I execute, that I practice, that I tweak, that I work on. And what I share with you is the same information that I share with my students who are enrolled in my university, with my clients and mentees who are enrolled in my mentorship program. So I just want you to know you are in good hands. So today, I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Just for some reason, a lot of people don't want to talk about the money thing. A lot of people have an issue talking about money, but I want to talk about 5 facts. 5 facts about the 1%. Now, let me lay a foundation for you today, okay? Because all you have to do is just Google the stuff that I say. Just Google it, okay? So if you Google how much money do you have to make to be considered a part of the 1%, okay? So how much money, I'm Googling it right now, how much money do you need to be the 1%? So you won't think I'm lying, okay? I want you to see it for yourself. So here's CNBC. Here's how much money you have to earn to be in the top 1%. CNBC says, let's see here, what did they say? They say, according to a recent study by personal finance website Smart Asset, an American family needed to earn $597,000 in 2021 to be in the top 1%. So that's well over $400,000 to $500,000 a year. So anywhere between $400,000 to $500,000. If you're making more than $400,000 a year, like you're definitely in the 1%. Okay, but let's just say that they are actually 100% correct across the board. So easily 600 grand. If you make 600 grand a year, you in 600 grand a year, 600K a year puts you in the top 1%. I mean, think about that. I just want you to think about what I'm saying in a minute, because I'm getting ready to share with you 5 facts about the 1%. But I wanted to Google that so you can see. All you got to do is Google the stuff that I be saying. Because a lot of times when I say stuff, I'm either going off of research that I've done, I'm going off of books that I've read, studying that I've done, things that I've experienced, you know, being around people and gathering data. I'm not just saying stuff just to say it. Okay? So again, this was just one report, one survey. Okay, there are many others. If you just read the top 1%, it's gonna go on and on. There are so many different versions of this information, but for the most part, most of these studies and surveys that you read about or that you go and do research on, you're gonna find out that if you're making anywhere between 400K and 600K a year, this is per year, if you're making that every year, you are categorically in the top 1%. Okay, so we're talking about, let's just even it out and say 500K. Okay, so 500K a year, that's about how much a month? So that's basically 42 grand a month. So making $42,000 a month, that puts you in the top 1%. Now, one of the reasons why this is so important, and this is one of the lessons that I teach, I have a course in my Millionaire Blueprint program. It's called the Income Ladder of Success. And what I do in this particular course is I show you how your mindset has to connect with your skill set. So that means if at some point you make the decision that you want to be in the top 1%, that means you want to make at least $400,000 to $600,000 a year. That means you want to make at least $42,000 a month so that you can be moved to that top 1% of American households. In order for that to happen, it starts with you having a mindset. So that means you have to have a mindset about money. You got to start learning new things about money. You have to have a better relationship with money. It's like anything else. It all starts with that, because remember, if there's some type of income ladder that exists, in order for you to climb that income ladder, at some point, you have to change your mindset about money. It's no different than anything else. Look at the people you have a relationship with right now. I don't care who it is. Think about people you got a relationship with right now. Well, your relationship with them is stronger the more you talk with them, the more you communicate with them, right? So you got to do that. You got to do the same thing with money. You got to communicate with money. You got to learn more about money. You've got to develop a mindset. And then when you start developing a mindset for money, it opens you up to the things you need to learn to develop as skill sets to start climbing that income ladder. I wish I could, let's see if I could do it. I don't know. I'm going to see if I can. I might not be able to. I should have tried this before. Where's my Google? Where's my Google board at? I'm trying to see if I have it on my app. I should have did this earlier, just to show you what my income ladder grid looks like. Oh, there it is, my jam board. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick just to show you. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it up just yet. I should have done it earlier, but I'm gonna just try it just to see if I can pull it up, just to give you an idea Let's see here if we can open this thing here up. And if we can, let me see, can I open up my, let me ignore that. Let me see if I can put one of my images up. Let's see if I can I share it? I don't even remember how I did it the last time. I'm trying to put a picture up on my Jamboard just to show you. But I just need to remember how to do it. Let's see here. We're going to camera. I really want to show y'all this. Image library. Let me see, where's my image at? If you're just coming on, I want you to put in the comments where you're watching me from. And we're talking about the 5 facts about, oh, I think I can do it. Let me see if it's letting me open it up. Let me see. If it does, this is going to be real cool because I want to show you what my income ladder looks like. I have this in my course, but I wanted to show y'all a visual image of it so you can get an idea of what it looks like in real time. Okay, let's see if I can open it. Let's see here. Is it going to let me? Where's my picture at? Nope. It's not letting me do it. Man, I really wanted y'all to see that. Is it letting me do it? Where's my image at? Nope. I really wanted y'all to see that. So I guess I can't show it today. Let's see here. Nope. Not letting me do it. So anyway, I wanted to show y'all my income ladder. I have an income ladder showing you the different incomes that determine what percentile you actually are in based on the income that you make. So for example, if you make $32,000 or less, categorically that could be considered poor class. From $32,000 and up to maybe $120,000 a year, that's somewhere the lower middle, the middle of the middle, and then you have the upper middle class. And then when you get to like $400,000 a year, you start moving up into that 1%. And that's where I wanted to talk about today, because a lot of times when you think about becoming a millionaire, you really have to start doing the math on, if I'm going to become a millionaire, that means I'm going to be in the top 1% of American households. Because remember, in order for you to be in the top 1% of American households in terms of income class, all you have to make is at least $400,000 a year. So that's anywhere between $35,000 and $42,000 a month. If you're making that type of money every month, or $400,000 to $500,000 a year, you are in the top 1%. So of course that doesn't mean you are a millionaire, but what it means is being in the top 1% is like an exception to the rule. 99% of American households make less than $400,000 a year. So there's only 1% of American households that make $400,000 more or more a year. And so when you think about 99% of the world in America makes less than $400,000 a year, and only 1% does make more than $400,000, that makes me wonder, like, what exactly do they know that the 99% of American households don't know? Have you ever thought about that? Like, if only 1% of American households make $400,000 or more a year, what do they know? Who do they know? What type of information do they have access to? What type of opportunities do they have access to? And don't just say and use as an excuse, oh, well, these are just white people and they're connected, or they're Jews or Arabs, or, you know, people from other nationalities, you know, they're Vietnamese, it ain't really black people. No, that's really not true. So you don't want to just write it off on race. And you don't want to just write it off on, well, the system is rigged up in a way that they always get it and we never get it. Well, there is some truth to that. But at the same time, you can't just write that off and use that as an excuse. Because what you don't want to do is be crippled, whether you're black, white, Jew, Arab, Asian, or whatever, Indian. You do not want to write that off. You want to take a more clearer, transparent approach to this reality to see what exactly are the top 1% of American households doing. What are they thinking? What information do they have at their disposal that gives them the ability? Now, of course, there may be a percentage of people who are just privileged, but everybody in that top 1% ain't just got there because they privileged. Okay, studies show this. If you did research, you would see that studies show over 80-something% of today's millionaires are first generation self-made millionaires. So that means they ain't just get there on their own. I mean, they didn't just get there by somebody else helping them. They actually had to do some work because they're self-made and they're first generation millionaires. So let me give you my 5 facts about the 1%, okay? Let me give you 5 facts about the 1%. And remember, when we say 1%, we're talking about people who make $400,000 or more a year, okay? So these are 5 facts about the top 1%, about the people who make $400,000 or more a year. The first fact, number 1, being in the 1%, being in the 1% is more of a discipline than an income class. Okay? I want you to write that down. So I'm giving you 5 facts about the 1%, about people who make $400,000 or more a year. And I can talk about the 1% because I'm a part of it. So I know these are facts. And I know a lot of people personally who are in the 1%, and these are facts. And there was a time I was in the bottom of the 99%. So I done been below pole. So I know how it feels to be on both sides of the spectrum. But this is the first fact that I want to give you about the top 1%, okay? Maybe I'll put that there, the top 1%. People who make $400,000 or more a year. Number 1, being in the 1% is more of a discipline. It's more of a discipline than an income class. It's more of a discipline. So what that means is, and I had to learn this, one of the best ways to become a part of the top 1% financially in terms of your income is to become more disciplined with money, to become more disciplined when it comes to what you do every day, whether it's on a job, whether it's with your business, whether it's with your credit, whether it's with opportunities. It's about a discipline more than an income class. See, when I started my financial journey, my professional entrepreneurial journey 20 years ago, I was not really educated about money. I didn't have an upbringing that educated me about money. So what that means is my credit was already messed up. I didn't have the information or the knowledge or even the mindset to know how to just save money. So I worked a job when I first got started, and I'm talking about in my early mid-20s. I was just working a job, trying to do some hustling, selling stuff on the side, just kind of going to the flea market, buying something and trying to sell it for $5, $10 more. I was just doing what I knew to do. But financially, I didn't have any intelligence about saving, about investing, about getting my credit score up and having good credit. I didn't know a lot of those things. But even if I started learning them, because there was a time that I started learning them, I didn't have the discipline. So there was a time that I started learning about money. One of the first books I read back in 2001, maybe about 21, 22 years ago, one of the first books I read was the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But when I read the book, I still didn't have a mindset. And because I didn't have a mindset, I really didn't use the principles and the concepts that I was reading about in the book. Because if I had the mindset, I would have been disciplined to not spend all my money, to not ruin my credit. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff that the 1% live by, that gets them into this top 1%, is really more of a discipline than an income class. Because see, there was a time I thought people who were well off financially, people who were millionaires and people who were doing good financially, I thought there was something special about them that somebody like me just didn't have. But I realized that a lot of these people are just disciplined. So that means they live on less than what they make. This is why these people are in the top 1%. They live on less than what they make. Because I'm telling you, I didn't get into that top 1% until I made the committed decision to become more disciplined with my spending, disciplined with my lifestyle, disciplined with my credit, disciplined with my work ethic. It was all about discipline. It really had nothing to do with income class. It was all about discipline. That's why there are so many people who are considered to be millionaires today. Like, you just do your research and studies and you will see a lot of people that are millionaires, you will never even know they're millionaires because they're not around here wearing Gucci hats. They ain't spending $400-500 on hats and $500 on belts. And again, if you're in a financial position to do those things, that's different. Even though I may be in a better financial position to do some of those things, I still feel like funny about it, doing it, because I'm like, man, I'm just wasting money. And I am wasting money because there are other things that I can do with the money, but at least I'm not like struggling and living paycheck to paycheck, and then I'm taking a paycheck and going to buy a designer outfit or a hat or something or an accessory. So it was about discipline. So for years before I ever spent any substantial amount of money on something for myself, I would wear the same clothes. I would drive the same car. I would just live way beneath my means and what I was making, because I understood that people who made it to this top 1% were disciplined people. Now you might disagree with me, but if you ain't got no money, I don't care how much you disagree with me. If you ain't doing that, and if you ain't got no form of financial success and stability, it don't matter if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, or if you agree or disagree with anything anybody like me is saying, because you don't have a basis for your disagreement. Your argument is futile, it's useless, it's worthless, because what I'm saying, anybody in this top 1% will probably say too, that being in the top 1%, number one, this is the first fact, is more of a discipline than it is an income class, okay? So that's fact number one. And again, what should you take away from that? The thing you should take away from that is, oh, if I want to be in the top 1%, I need to get more discipline. Yes, I need to know about how much money I want to have. I need to be clear on that, but I also need to get disciplined. I need to be disciplined with my spending habits. I need to be disciplined with my credit. I need to be disciplined with what I do every day in my business or in my profession. I need to live on less than what I make. And I've got to be willing to do that over long periods of time until I'm in a financial position to see that what I did actually works. It's all about discipline, okay? So fact number 2, people in the top 1% typically spend passive income for luxuries and they spend, let's say, earned income for necessities. This is the second fact about the top 1%. People who make $400,000 or more a year, they typically spend passive income for luxuries. Okay? They spend passive income, typically. Because I'm sitting here with a designer hat on and a designer belt and designer shoes and clothes, and I didn't spend it, I didn't pay for it with passive income. I paid for it with income that I made from a business, which is somewhat passive because it was extra income I had, but I still had to earn it. It wasn't like I paid for it with money I made from a job, okay? So people who are in the top 1%, they typically spend passive income for luxuries and they spend earned income for necessities. So let me explain to you how that works. Number 1, as I said earlier, I'm giving myself as an example, okay? Because I'm not a multimillionaire yet. I don't have like $10 million. So when I get there, I'll probably have a different conversation. But right now, where I am, just being in the top 1%, what I do know is, even though I don't have a whole lot of passive income, I don't have as much passive income as I need. I mean, I don't think it's ever enough. But at least I have built business systems. I have built business systems, and I've built enough of them in a way that they generate income that I'm not necessarily earning, which means that I'm not having to go work on a job to make that money. I have a business system that actually makes some of that money. Some of this money is kind of like systematic. It's automated because I built systems, and I've took my time for years to build it and to invest in it, so that now if I took my hands off of it, it still makes money. It still generates income. And so that income is a form of passive income for me. Even if it's not categorically 100% passive income, for me, some of this income that I do bring in is passive because I'm not having to labor for it the way I may have labored for it 15 years ago, because I built a business system around it and it actually works for itself and it creates some level of income for me. Okay? A lot of times passive income will be in the form of a business that you built that you no longer run and operate the day-to-day management of. And it could be real estate, that you invest in real estate or some other type of investments. But again, people who are in the top 1%, they're going to typically buy designer stuff and Mercedes and nice cars and go on exquisite vacations and live in nice houses. They're going to typically do that with money that's passive. They're not going to take money they're earning from a job and go buy Gucci hats with, or Louis Vuitton belts, or Bally shoes. They're not going to do that with money that they're working on a job. I've never done that. Like I've never done that. Even when I didn't really have all the discipline that I might have now, or all the financial intelligence that I have now. I'm talking about like when me and my wife first got married, we've been together for 20 years. And when we started our entrepreneurial journey, we was living in an apartment and we still lived very frugal. We did our best to live on less than what we made, even when we wasn't making a whole lot. But every time we started climbing that income ladder, we didn't match that with a lifestyle. We didn't do that. So that means we didn't go make $10,000 and then we go spend $10,000. We didn't go from, let's say, $30,000 to $60,000 a year, from 60 to 90, or from 90 to 150, and then we change our lifestyle. That's not what we decided to do. We always played the long game, and this is what this fact is about, that the top 1% do. They typically spend passive income for luxuries. So again, if you have a problem with buying luxuries and spending your money on stuff that's just, it ain't going back into your business. It ain't really helping your business, okay? Like if I go spend a couple $100s on a designer hat and I use it as an excuse, oh, it's helping my business, it's a necessity, it's giving me more marketing potential. You just trying to fool yourself. That ain't really changing nothing. Some people might be impressed, but people who really want to do business with you, depending on what kind of business you have, they ain't doing business with you because you got on a designer outfit or something. You can be putting that money back into your business a better way. There are better ways to spend money. So again, you want to try to make sure that if you're disciplined, if you are earning income, whether you're working on a job, whether you are a 1099, or whether you're just at the beginning stages, because there are certain things that I do in my business that I put all of my money back into my business. Matter of fact, I have certain divisions in my company, like my coaching division, my coaching division, and my educational division, what I talk about a lot. A lot of that money, really all of that money, I put back into my business. Whether it's through marketing, whether it's through infrastructure, whether it's through systems and technology and platforms, I put it all back in there because I did that with my consulting. My wife and I did that with our real estate company, and that's what got us to a point to where we had extra money so that we could start pivoting into, let's start an educational platform, let's start a coaching program and a division for this type of work. And we had money to put in so that we are able to afford dumping money into it until it gets big enough that it can take care of itself. But while we're doing that, we ain't pulling money out of that earned income that's coming through that active business right now and buying luxuries. That ain't how we rolling, okay? Number 3, the third fact about the 1%. And this might be a surprise to you, but people who are in the top 1% are by far some of the most generous people on the planet. I know it might be hard to believe, but this is true. People who are in the top 1% are some of the most generous people on the planet. I mean, like I said, I personally don't know anyone who is making $400,000 or more a year. I don't know a whole lot of people personally, but I do know some people personally. I have personal relationships. I ain't talking about somebody I met off the internet or I went to an event. You know, like I have a business coach and a mentor. I don't know him personally. It's not like I know him personally and he knows me and we exchange numbers. He's a guru. He's an influencer. He's a global personality. He's a public figure. So I don't know him personally like that. But so I can't use him as an example. I just want you to understand what I'm saying. But I do know people personally, meaning that I got their numbers, they got my number, we see each other, we know each other by name, we know each other's kids. I know some people who make $400,000 or more a year. They're in the top 1%. And all of them, I don't know a person personally that makes that much money that's not generous. So that's one of the myths. This is why I want to give you this fact, because that should help you understand. If you plan on becoming a part of the top 1%, number one, the first fact, you got to get disciplined. You should be the most disciplined person in your circle. You shouldn't be the laziest. You shouldn't always have excuses, because that's hurting you, okay? Number two, you should live on less than what you make. So if you're living off of everything you making, if every time you make money you spend it all, then most likely you're not a part of the 1%, or you're never going to be a part of the 1%, okay? And number three, you should be one of the most generous people in your community, in your church, probably in your family, because people who are in the 1% are some of the most generous people on the planet. They're always the ones that give big. They're always the one. And I know me and my wife like that. My wife, she's probably more generous than I am. Sometimes I could be a little stingy. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm working on my business. I ain't got no money to put in nobody right now. My wife is totally opposite. My wife is always thinking about how she could be a blessing to somebody. Every time I talk with her, she's, honey, I talked to so-and-so and I sowed a seed. That's the terminology my wife used. I sowed a seed. I'm like, oh, here we go. She's sowing another seed. But guess what? That generosity pays off, because that's the mindset people who are in the top 1% have, okay? Number four, let me get through the last two. Number four, the fourth fact about the 1%, the top 1%. The fourth fact is the higher you go up. I want you to hear this, because this is important. I just had this conversation with somebody today. The higher you go up, the more people, the more systems, the more processes, and the more structure you need. And this here is one of the reasons why, when I'm talking to people, whether they just starting their business or they've been in business for a couple of years and they're trying to get their business scaled, they're trying to make more money, I always tell them, you gotta have your structure, your systems, and your processes in place. Because I already know the higher you go up the income ladder, the higher you go up that ladder, the more money you start making as you go up, as you keep going up, the more you need people. The more you need people. Like, are you understanding what I'm saying? There's no such thing as I'm going to keep going up and I'm going to need less people. I don't need a whole lot more people. It's unreal. And when you listen to people like that, it's like, I know you don't know what you're talking about. When I hear somebody say, yeah, I just want to build my business so that my business can be automated. So all I got to do is press a button and I make money in my sleep. The idea of it sounds good, but what you don't understand is, if you keep making money, if you keep growing your business, you're going to need more people. Even if it's not staff, you're going to need more consultants, more tax people, more lawyers, more experts, more engineers, more marketers, more computer savvy people. Like, you're going to need more people. It's just inevitable. That's how you keep moving up the ladder. You're going to need more people and you're going to need more systems. Because what happens is, let's say if you got like a financial system like QuickBooks, right? Okay, QuickBooks might work to a certain financial level, but there's going to be a certain level you get to where If you're using QuickBooks, you might need a CFO in-house, or you might need a engineer technology company to create a financial management system that's kind of like your own POS system for your inventory, for your products, for your services, for your analytics. At some point, it's going to change. It changes like that even when you're just making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You got to stay on top of this stuff. So you're going to need more systems. You're going to need more processes. And most businesses, because I've had to learn this, and I work on this every day in my business, most businesses never even get to the top 1% because they don't have any systems or processes. It's just no way how are you going to get there? So if you're watching me right now, you listening to me and you like, I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be in the top 1%. Well, at some point, if you plan on climbing that ladder, you're going to need people, systems, processes, and structure. And you're going to continue to need more of it as you go up the ladder. Now, if you are not able to climb that ladder, this is what I try to tell people that I talk to today: small business owners, solopreneurs, independent contractors, people who work jobs that's trying to transition into business full time. I keep trying to tell people like that, that listen, if you are one of those individuals and you're not able to climb that ladder, it's because you probably need to put some of this stuff in place now. But in your mind, I'm gonna wait until I make 500 grand, then I'm gonna figure this out. All right, you might not never get there, because one of the reasons why you might not never get there is because you don't have any of this stuff. That's why I said the higher you go, the more people you're gonna need, the more systems, processes, structure you're gonna need. But at some point, even if you're down here at the bottom, just getting started, and you ain't even making $100,000, you might need the basics here so you can at least get the wheels going. You gotta get those wheels going, okay? And number 5, I'm gonna give you this last fact, and then we gonna move on, baby. Number 5, the 5th fact about the 1%. The 1%, the top 1%, are never satisfied. The top 1% are never satisfied. They ain't never satisfied. I've never met nobody in the top 1% who's satisfied. Me personally, I haven't. And I'm not trying to meet nobody who's in the top 1% that's satisfied, okay? And it's not because, listen to this, they're never satisfied. It's not because, I typed this in my phone, this is not because they are selfish people. It's actually because they typically possess obsessive convictions to help so many people and change the world. So the main reason why people who are in the top 1% are never satisfied is not because they selfish. Oh, I just want more money for myself. No. Most of these people are never satisfied because they have so many people they want to help. I know I feel like that. Every day I wake up and I think about the people that need me to be me. My family, I got kids, I got grandkids, my wife, like we got family that and staff. And I just feel like, man, I can't stop. I got to keep going. I got to keep figuring out a way to climb that ladder, to make more money, to have more resources, to give my people more opportunities. I'm not going to be satisfied. And most people who are in this category are never satisfied. So those are my 5 facts about the top 1%. Number 1, they are more disciplined. They are more disciplined. They have way more discipline than most people. Number 2, they spend less than what they make. It's simple math. It's simple math. Spend less than what you make. And if you can't figure out new ways to spend less, then make more. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you can't figure out new ways to spend less, then make more. Because it's only so much I'm going to cut. It's only so many expenses I'm gonna cut. At a certain point, I gotta look at my top line and say, I gotta make more money, right? So if you're making $20,000 a year or $40,000 a year, it's only so many bills and expenses you gonna cut. You can't cut them all. You got bills, you got expenses, you got things you gotta pay for, right? At some point, you gotta stop. I just talked to my team about this today. I was talking to my staff this morning when we were in our morning meeting doing our training and our role playing. I was just talking to them about, listen, if you make $100,000 a year and you got all these expenses, all these bills, all this stuff that you got to pay for, at a certain point, you're only going to go shrink this down so far. At a certain point, you got to stop focusing on all this and look at how can I make this 100,000, 1 million. That's how you have to think about it. At some point, you got to flip that switch. Okay? And I promise you, if you're listening to me and some of this stuff is making sense, but you just don't know how to get this stuff started, I promise you it's because of a few things. It's only because of a few things. Number one, it's because of a mindset that you have. Your mind is already set to believe certain things. Your mind is already set to think a certain way. Your mind is already set to process information. So what you have to do is change your mindset. And the way you change your mindset is you reset your mind with new information. With new information. I tell this to my students and to my mentees and clients every doggone day. I'm talking to somebody, telling them new information, new information. I give my students access to hundreds of video educational courses on business, on money, on wealth, on entrepreneurship, on investing. And they, or you, have to take that information and add it to your mind. You gotta use it to reset your mind. And if you reset your mind with new information, what happens is your mindset triggers a demand for you to develop a new skill set. This is how it works. Your mindset changes, your skill set will change. Because you're not going to have $1 million mind and keep operating with a $20 skill. At some point, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I'm a millionaire in my mind. I need to do what millionaires do. What do I need to do? Oh, I need to do this. There's the skill. Now, where your mind is set, your skill is going to be set. And guess what that changes? That changes your financial outcome. That's how it works. So, if you're watching this show today, you know these 5 facts to be true, and you are looking for ways to climb that income ladder because you want to be in the top 1%. Well, if you want to be in the top 1%, you're going to have to figure out how you can make at least $400,000 a year. You're going to have to figure that out, okay? $400,000 a year is approximately what? We'll just say $34,000 a month. All right, $34,000 a month divided by 4, that's about $9K a week. So if you want to be in the top 1%, you got to figure out how to make at least $400,000 a year, $34,000 a month, or $9,000 a week. Now, how are you going to do that? Well, at some point, you're going to have to do it through a business system. You're going to have to do it through a business. And if you have the right business structure, and in your business structure, you have the right products or services, you have the right prices and offers, if you have the right systems and processes, like your marketing, that's one system and process, marketing, like your sales, like your finances, like your operations. If you have things like this, if you have the right business and your business has the right structure, that's why I teach about holding companies and having divisions and subsidiaries. If you have the right products and services, if your products and services have the right prices and offers, if your products and services are housed in the right systems with the right processes, like a marketing system for you to get attention, for you to position yourself in the marketplace, for you to sell, for you to know how to bring people in once you get their attention and convert them into clients and customers, for you to be able to track all your income and expenses so that you can minimize your tax liability and maximize your profitability, and for you to be able to operate this entire organization effectively and efficiently. If you have this, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to end up in that top 1%. It's just, I'm not going to say it's as simple as that, but it's just as simple as that. It took me 20 years to figure all this out. So you hear me running my mouth the way I run my mouth in 2022. But what you don't see is where I was 20 years ago when I started my first business, when I first started moving into entrepreneurship with no job, with no money, with no credit, with no working capital, with no business loan, with no credit card, with no funding, with no mentorship program, with no mastermind. We didn't even have the internet the way we do now in 2002. I was just out there scrapping with flyers, knocking on doors, trying to get business just to eat for that day. That's how it was 20 years ago. But 20 years later, you hear me and you're like, oh my God, all this stuff makes sense. But it still takes a little bit of time. This is one of the reasons why I put my coaching program together to mentor you for at least 1 year. Because if you give yourself at least 1 year and you say, you know what, I'm going to learn this information, I'm going to educate myself. While I learn and educate myself, I'm going to start implementing some of this stuff in my business, even if I'm still working a job. I'm going to allow somebody like Ramon, who is already a part of the top 1%, who has already created a successful organization, who already has the right structure, the right systems, the right processes, and who is a business consultant and coach that knows how to walk me through the process. I'm going to give myself a year. It's just no way you give yourself a whole year to get this type of training and education and coaching and mentoring and nothing happens. Come on. It's just no way. Something has to happen. It's going to happen. That's just the way it is. And so if you would like to have more information about our mentorship program, or maybe you just feel like, you know what, I've watched you enough. I know you know what you're talking about, and I need to pull the trigger. I want you to give me a call or text. You can call me or you can text Millionaire to this number right here. And you can call me and text me right now. We're here at the office. And I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have, because I already know most of the times when you listen to people like me, especially if you're just coming across me and you watched a couple of my videos, you probably don't trust people on the internet. Maybe you've already been scammed 1 or 2 times before. You bought some online courses, they didn't work for you, or maybe you joined some type of mastermind program or coaching program, and it was really just some automated system that you joined, and it was really nothing that gave you value. I hear that a lot of times from people who join our mentorship program. They always say, I didn't think it was going to be a real person. I didn't think I was going to really be able to see you and your team. I didn't know y'all was gonna call me back. I was expecting some voicemail or some automated system, and I'm like, no, I'm a real person. I do all of the coaching, at least I lead the coaching sessions. I have a team. We have concierges who literally call you on a regular basis, at least a couple times a week. You hear from us via text, phone calls, emails. You have people that you can call on my team if you have questions. We sit down with you and put a game plan together for the year that you're going to be in our mentorship program. We give you access to our weekly coaching calls that we host. We give you full access for the whole year to all of our educational programs on our university platform for business, for holding companies, for investing, for sales, marketing, systems, processes. And when we coach you, we literally give you direction on what courses you need to start studying once we put a game plan together. We also give you access to all of our workshops. So when you join my mentorship program for that year, you get access to 4 workshops for sales, marketing, operations, and financial systems, because we want you to have a real legitimate business at least within that year so that you can see success, because your success is our success. So I would love to have an opportunity to speak with you, to share more information about our program with you, and to see what you're doing now and what we can do to help get you accelerated to your next level. And don't wait till next year. I keep telling people this all the time. When you get to the end of the year, and if you've been in business making money, you don't want to wait till next year to figure out, are you going to owe taxes? How much taxes you going to owe? You don't want to wonder about that next year, okay? Most people who are doing what I do, I guarantee you, everybody, I ain't going to say everybody, I'll say it this way. Most people who are in the 1%, the top 1%, if they have a legitimate business put together, most likely this is the month, November, that they're going to be speaking with their tax strategist or their CPA or whoever their tax expert is, and they're going to start forecasting. That's what they call it. They're going to be forecasting so that they can do the math on how much money you made this year, how much money you spent, what on paper is left, even if it's not in the account, and what your potential tax liability would be if you did your taxes right now, so that they can start implementing creative tax strategies to lower that overall tax bill. So if you're not doing that, it's because you don't understand these things that I'm talking about, and you need to know them now so that you don't wait till next year. Because I have a whole lot of people, unfortunately, I got people who are already clients of mine that they wait till next year to become clients so that we can work with them, so that next year they're not stressed out or sick to their stomach because they realize, oh, they owe $10,000 in taxes, when they could have probably cut that tax bill down to 0 if they knew what we know. So I want you to reach out to me. Text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. I would love to have an opportunity to speak with you, answer your questions, show you more about our educational courses on holding companies, creative tax strategies, financial literacy, systems, processes. I want you to be successful in your business. That's what makes me feel good. Of course, I want to do business with people. Of course, I want to make money. I have to make money to keep my business going. But man, let me tell you something. I love when I hear people telling their success stories, that what they learned is working, what we showed them is making an impact and is helping them grow their business. So reach out to me today. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till after the holidays. I hate when people tell me that. I'm like, why are you going to wait till after the holidays? We got 2 more months in this year. You know how much can happen? I'm telling you, people with money, they're not waiting till next year. People with money ain't waiting till next year. And you might be saying, well, I ain't got no doggone money. Well, that's why you ain't got no money, because of your mindset. Because it don't always take money for you to do the things you need to do. Sometimes it takes a text or a phone call for you to just get the ball rolling. But you just sitting on the sideline and you just watching everybody else win and do these things. I'm showing up on this show every day because I'm here in my office working. I'm grinding. I'm making it happen. I'm growing my business. And guess what? I might not have to do a lot of the things that I do, but I have to do them. And I want you to have the same mindset and skill set. So text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. I'm looking forward to having an amazing November. And I want you to be a part of what we're doing here at Ramonepreston Enterprises. We'll be back here tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon, Eastern Standard Time, same place, same time, right here on the Ramonepreston Show. I'll see you tomorrow. That's Wednesday.